everyone. So we had a little crash, and I was going over the Pluto enter right now. So I'm going to show on the screen again the mandala, the human design mandala, so you guys can see where things are occurring. Because I'm also going to go into the centers a bit, and me and Molly are going to talk about how it's affecting us on an individual as well as a global, or I don't like to use that term. Just I guess
collective level. That's it.
Collective level, yeah. So as you guys see here, as I went over, Pluto is returning to gate 49, which is in Aquarius. It's a gate in Aquarius, and we went over this gate limitation, and Molly used a specific keynote, and you said transformation through limitation, correct?
I think it's like transcendence. By accepting limitation, we can achieve transcendence.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, that's really nice. So gate 49 is here on the body graph. Okay, so you guys can see. And this is going to get really interesting. We're going to talk about it now on an individual level. But what I was saying, where we got cut off, was I was talking about how this transcendence, this transformation, this whatever it is that's happening, you know, of whom it's hard to give an exact name to, besides some themes we have, is it's occurring here in the gate 49, and the transition of the cycle of the right angle cross, and this is human design talk, the right angle cross of planning, which we've had for about 400 years. And that's where humanity moves about and goes from place to place and lives in other places and develops communities. We're moving into a new right angle cross destiny theme. And that theme is gate 55. And this signifies the gate of the right angle cross of the sleeping phoenix. This is more individuated. And I say that because this channel here, the 4919, if you guys can see, it's a collective, or is it a tribal channel? Regardless, collective or tribal is going to involve community. Molly, do you remember if it's collective or tribal?
Which gate?
The 4919, this channel here.
I don't remember. No, sorry.
That's all right. The outer channels are usually collectives. These are collectives, and then the middle ones are usually individual. So anyway, we're going to move to an individual cross. So it's kind of a contradiction to what we just said to you guys about the Pluto being about creating new communities in a sense, or just our own personal communities or our own connections with others, alternative ways to keep our support structures alive. But it will be moving into something else, something other. And maybe I'll talk more about that at another time. It just gets really weird. So I'm going to stop at this point, and we'll go to Molly. Has some insight to share with us about how this is affecting us on an individual level.
Yeah, so a way people can kind of ground some of this more broad transit into their personal experience is to look at where the US Pluto falls in their individual chart. So that would be like, where is 27 Capricorn located? What house is it located in your unique mandala, your birth chart? And then also see, like, is there planets there? For Capricorn suns who have their sun around that degree, that might be felt a lot more strongly than another person might experience this. For people who were born around 1990, who have the North Node in Capricorn, this Pluto return Pluto is transiting their North Node. So that's huge. And that's shared obviously amongst a big amount of people. And I also wanted to reflect, Maria, and just ask you if you feel that there'll be a difference in how certain generations handle this Pluto return, meaning to say, like, you're part of the Pluto and Libra generation, and I'm part of the Pluto in Scorpio generation. So this return is actually creating like a Pluto square Pluto for folks around your age, whereas for my generation, it's more of like a sextile. Yeah, just your thoughts on that, Mario, like how different Pluto generations might navigate these times.
For me, it's Pluto's, this Pluto return is happening in my 10th, 11th house. And that's been really evident. I've been really conscious about how that's developing, and that it would be squaring my 6th house. So the themes are kind of similar. So generationally, for my Pluto and Libra generation, I would see it through the signs as a Libra Capricorn. So it's an issue between the self, how we serve others, and how we relate to others, and how we commit to others in tension with how we spend our resources. So I think the Pluto and Libra generation is going to be looking at how we couple with others, how we commit to others, and how we form community and bonds economically, how that works. What's the new image that we're creating, that we're setting forth? I think your generation, Pluto and Scorpio, which is going to be in sextile, it's not a trine, so it's not that easy. You guys are still going to be making effort, because a sextile requires a little bit more effort to smooth out the challenge of your scorpionic transformative plutonic energy that you guys brought in, right? That you guys are comfortable taking around and moving through. I mean, you guys came in for that purpose, right? In tension with how you utilize your resources.
I have so many interesting thoughts on the Pluto Scorpio generation.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your generation. Go ahead. Take it.
Well, for one, unfortunately, we don't get to experience this, but when Pluto is in Scorpio, we are experiencing it because people of my generation are alive right now. But when Pluto transits in the sign of Scorpio, it actually comes closer in orbit to Earth than Neptune, which is really fascinating because it has a kind of renegade cycle to Pluto. Like the way the way it moves in space is it's a lot different from a lot of the other planetary orbits. So when it's in Scorpio, it was I think Dane Rudyard who said it has like this kind of fertilizing effect on the collective when Pluto moves into its home sign. And this is evidenced by like kind of Neoplatonic movements around alchemical wisdom, ancient wisdom coming back in like more prominent fashion. So for instance, like Paracelsus was born with Pluto in Scorpio. That was like, he's the father of modern medicine, the one who really like popularized alchemy. This way of merging, and the Florentine Renaissance was during this Pluto in Scorpio period as well. So I find it really fascinating because I see that in my generation. Like there's all these people who are interested in astrology and herbalism and the intersection of the two, and bringing back these like very ancient, even things like spagyrics. Like I know so many people, my herb teacher teaches this, and by other generations, it's kind of obscure. It's like, what is that? But it's definitely, I see that signature so deeply in the Pluto Scorpio cohort.
I do as well. That's very true. It's very true.
So yeah, I think because Pluto and Scorpio is so much about like alchemy, transformation, turning some poison into medicine, these concepts, these themes, maybe this generation is pretty well equipped to handle difficult transits.
Yeah, and then we have the 2000 kids, the ones that are kind of in a way, the ones who are given the real chance to, at the same time that they're coming into adulthood, that they're actually having to make a full distinction between who they are and who they're not. these are the kids that are really that are born on the screens. You know what I mean? They're born, the digital avatars are born much earlier.
Good
And so
point.
there's more of a confusion and a conflation. And I worked with a lot of that generation, and they're just like fire. I mean, right? Pluto and Sag, they're just like, they cannot hold it in, right? And that's the Sag, that's the arrow, right? I mean, they cannot, and they're coming in with that sense already, and they just hold on to it and just like push through and burn through. And I love it, and I see that. And it's not that, I mean, it's not even that, right? It's not even well, what's the aspect with Capricorn? It's probably a less than a 30-degree aspect. Well, no, but
The
60.
signs next to one another have, I forget the term for it, but I know it's challenging because they can't see each other.
Got it. So there's still a tension for sure. But the
It's
Pluto,
not even attention, it's more just like they're just so, the energies are so different. Beside the one exception I would say would be Capricorn and Aquarius because they have a co-ruler.
got it. That's true. That's true. But yeah, different in every way. Element, energy, movement, feminine, masculine, alternates. Yeah, so that generation is the most kind of conditioned to whatever the modern programming is that we've discussed, you know, the transhumanism movement, you know, and so they're the most susceptible to it, but at the same time, they're also the ones with the greatest potential to transmute and transcend that energy. Because they're like the furthest up in the evolutionary ladder right now. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
What their DNA is doing, what the crystals, the personality crystals, and the is doing in their body, you know, it's like such another frequency. They're already like in the frequency that you and I are moving towards. You know what I mean? Or just starting to become comfortable with. We're not even comfortable. We're just starting to get used to. You know, not that we're comfortable with it necessarily. You know, yeah, but these Sag beings are like these Pluto Sages. They're the ones to watch right now. You know, they're definitely the ones to watch.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been wanting to find some people who are of the older Pluto Sag. Oh, sorry, never mind. Not Pluto, the North Node and Sag folks from like the 70s. I'm trying to like see if I can reach out to any people who have that. If you have that, comment below. Just because of the Pluto on the North Node aspect. Or wait, they wouldn't have experienced that. Or would they have experienced Pluto over their North Node? People who have Sag North Node? Because how long ago was Pluto and Sag?
Yeah, we'd have to look at the intersections of where they met.
That's what's so trippy about Pluto transits is like they're so rare in a way because Pluto just moves so slow.
Yeah, for sure. And then the Pluto and Capricorns. That's those are the most recent, right? Those are going to be holding a lot of magical energy. I mean, they're going to be transmuting whatever might occur with them. They may be able to transmute it even better. I mean, it's not to say they're going to go through struggles. I mean, there's small ones right now, you know. But yeah, we'll see. We'll observe. I mean, I definitely have a lot of sense of the strength of the younger beings are as spirits in these bodies, or as bodies in these spirits. I like to say. They're just going to be transmuting, like, you know, like you and I are just going to be like, what? It's going to be a lot. So any last things you want to add, Molly? I don't think I have anything else. I mean, we spoke on the individual level. You brought up the generational, which is fascinating. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, in the last video, just some closing thoughts would be, because in case you're just watching this video separately, just again, like things that are helpful for the digestion, things that are grounding us, connecting us to the earth. You know, second house is very much like the food we intake. Pluto is very much the transformative process of digestion. Adaptogens, which are the herbs that work more on like the deep patterns within us. Those things can be very good allies right now. And overall, we're just being asked to resource ourselves And yeah, figure out what that looks like on an individual level and on a more of a group level as well.
I want to add that adaptogens are really good for sleeping cycles. And because of the higher frequencies, our sleeping cycles are being disturbed. And really important to have adaptogens before sleep. If your hormonal cycles are off balance, it can kind of calm down the nervous system and help
Yeah.
you resume.
The non-stimulating adaptogens, so something like ashwagandha, but some of the adaptogens like rhodiola are more on the stimulating side.
Thanks for that distinction. Yeah. And then I'll just note that remember, like for all of you, we're right now we're experiencing like a stage, and the planets are manifesting through us and through our systems and through everything that's occurring. And major changes are occurring, and each planet represents a form of change. And Pluto represents, the death of the old guard, in a new way. Uranus represents the need to free ourselves from the prisons of old. Saturn is the keeper of time. It represents the harvest. It's taking care of what we're done with, and what's being done with rather as well. And Jupiter has to do with our laws, our personal laws, the larger laws around us, and how we're recreating them through natural law, through our own knowledge and study of common law and natural law, and how every moment is a contract, every moment we're creating law. And finally, Neptune, which in its home sign of Pisces that we're all experiencing right now is definitely presenting things for humanity and things that are being presented. Some seem to be real and some are real. And really it's going to be what we're committing to seeing that are going to be our realities. And
Thank you.
yeah, if anything you want to share with that. Yeah, otherwise we're good here.
If you all have comments, experiences of this transit, questions or transits or topics you'd like us to cover, write in the comments, or you can contact us with the info below. So thank you all.
Yeah, thanks so much.